We have a piece here in Jacobin about Julian Assange and the CIA's obsession with him. This is by Chip Gibbons. Secret documents have exposed the CIA's Julian Assange obsession. New revelations show that the CIA secretly took control of the security company hired by Ecuador's government to guard Julian Assange during his exile in London. The agency's spying on Assange and his visitors constitutes a major breach of civil liberties. That's what the CIA does, right? That should be on their website. What do? We breach civil liberties. Stefania Marizzi was no stranger to the Ecuadorian embassy in London. The Italian investigative reporter had worked as a partner journalist with Wikileaks for all of its major releases since 2009. Marizzi had also pursued litigation in 4 separate countries seeking to compel their governments to release information about Julian Assange and Wikileaks. Assange at that point was trapped in the embassy. In 2012, Ecuador's Democratic Socialist government granted him political asylum, but the United Kingdom made clear they would arrest the journalist should he ever set foot outside the embassy. Marizzi had visited him a number of times. While Marizzi met with Assange on December 29, 2017, embassy security held on to her electronics for the duration of the visit. As she talked to her journalistic counterpart, employees of the Spanish security firm UC Global accessed her devices, photographed them, disassembled one of her phones, and removed its SIM card. On at least one occasion, the same security contractor took audio and video recordings of her meeting with Assange. Since Assange had become an unexpected resident, the embassy beefed up its security by hiring Spanish security firm UC Global. In early 2017, UC Global had imposed a new regime on Assange's myriad visitors. It demanded they turn over their passports and electronic devices when visiting the Australian journalists. UC Global also placed new video cameras inside the embassy in spite of their claims to the contrary. Those camera recordings not just video, but those cameras recorded not just video but audio. Unbeknownst to Assange's guests, UC Global was photographing their passports as well as attempting to access their electronic devices. According to former employees, UC Global's actions within the embassy may have been at the behest of a second client, U.S. Intelligence Services. For 3 years now, UC Global and its owner, David Morales, have been the subject of an ongoing criminal probe in Spain. A Spanish judge has been investigating whether Morales, a Spanish citizen, violated Assange's right to privacy and attorney-client privilege by spying on legal meetings. Morales is also being investigated for money laundering and bribery. The inquiry was increasingly focused on Morales' alleged ties to the CIA. In June, Spain's National High Court issued a subpoena for former CIA Director Mike Pompeo to testify about a possible CIA plot to assassinate Assange. We covered that a while ago. I'm sure many of you remember that. And it is not just in Spain where Pompeo and UC Global are facing legal scrutiny. In August, 2 American journalists, Charles Glass and John Goetz, I'm guessing, joined with 2 of Assange's American lawyers, Margaret Ratner Kustler, and Deborah Herbeck, in bringing a lawsuit against former CIA Director Mike Pompeo, the CIA, UC Global, and Morales. The lawsuit alleges the copying of phones and electronic devices by UC Global was on behalf of the CIA and personally approved by Pompeo. As a result, their Fourth Amendment rights were violated. Claims of constitutional violations can only be brought by U.S. citizens, but the lawsuit draws attention more broadly to how the victims of this surveillance extended beyond Assange. UC Global ensnared not just the WikiLeaks publisher, but his legal team, his doctors, his visitors, and the embassy itself. Assange had a wide array of visitors at the embassy, including everyone from celebrities like Pamela Anderson to political figures like Yanis Varoufakis. With certain visitors, UC Global has created profiles and kept dossiers. And UC Global, it is alleged, passed on this information to the CIA. Okay, so hardly surprising that the CIA is so obsessed with Assange, but the explicit nature of their spying on him is obviously a violation of Assange's civil liberties, as well as all of those people who may have visited him who were spied on, or people caught in the crossfire, so to say, who were just at the embassy for other business or other reasons. This is what the CIA does, you guys. It's what they do. Their job is to violate your privacy. Their job is to, mingle politically, or what's the word I'm looking for? Involve themselves. It starts with an M. Anyway, I'm just drawing a blank. but you guys get my point. Their job is to be disruptive in ways that are that favor what the United States goals are, and that certainly includes trying to silence and punish anybody who dares to reveal the United States crimes, or in any sort of way pull the curtain on our foreign policy. All that Assange did was good journalism. He should be celebrated. He should not be persecuted, let alone prosecuted. And it will never cease to be astonishing to me that the media, like, I get that the mainstream media is completely captured by establishment interests. I do understand that. But the fact that even with their own profession at stake, if Assange can be prosecuted for this, you guys, then every journalist, like, the very core of your profession and your ability to do your job with any sort of, in any sort of effective capacity is kneecapped if Julian Assange can be prosecuted for simply revealing things that a powerful state does not want revealed. And it's amazing to me that there aren't more in the mainstream who can at least see that. When Nixon was threatening papers left and right, the response was pretty unanimously like, no, fuck you, right? It was actually the Washington Post back in those days, well before Bezos owned them, that basically said, no, we're going to go ahead and publish, and you can come after us if you'd like. And after that, it was just a cascade of other papers publishing the same story. So it's like, you're going to go after everybody? The press used to have at least a tiny shred of respect for their own fucking industry. And it now seems that they're willing to abandon their own profession at the behest of the establishment and the intelligence community to either not cover Assange at all or smear him in their coverage and be dishonest and disingenuous in their coverage. So anyhow, not at all surprising that the CIA was so concerned and was willing to violate Assange and his colleagues' rights in that manner, but very much worth bringing to you, and great reporting there from Jacobin. I'm hopeful Assange is not extradited, but everything is moving in the direction of Julian Assange being extradited and punished for the crime of doing quality journalism, and it is a real fucking shame.